PTM Racing TV welcomes you to virtual Daytona International Speedway. And after a little bit of a 30-minute hiatus, welcome you back. Ready to go now for the event that is going to be close to $800 purse. And we're ready now in just a few moments for the field to grid. Here, part of the Saturday night money. See the checker flag waving over the field, and there you see the drivers that are signed in. Kind of disappointed, man. With this kind of money on the line, a broadcast, you would have thought that you'd have had 20 or 30 drivers. I guess they're still out doing late-minute Christmas shopping, trying to find that Turbo Man doll or something for the little ones. Tickle Me Elmo something, right? Anyhow, we get ready for the field to get assembled on the front straightaway, and we are ready to go for the main event of our triple broadcast coverage here. There was a double header at 8 o'clock, went off the air just around 10, and we are about 9:45 actually. And now we are ready to roll for the big show, the main event here. It is FEG PC Saturday Night Money, an $800 almost purse, $740 purse. The winner ready to try to get a nice share of the money. And this event is just shy of getting started as the field is getting assembled behind the safety car. I say that because literally they're getting into position here. And we are just about ready to introduce the starting lineup. As I mentioned, it's $740 purse. Somebody's going to walk away with $200 to the winner. If you care, you must share. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. There you see the safety vehicle, the pace car, ready to bring the field onto the pit lane when they get ready to roll out. All right, let's give you the starting lineup for Saturday Night Money here at Daytona. The starting lineup, there it is, based on qualifying. Ron Morris Jr. is going to be the man on the pole. Richard Elliott right there alongside row number 1. Row 2 will find Matthew Baker. The Floridian, Mom Baker's in the chat box. I know she is. Daniel Eberhardt III will fire off 4th, row 2. Row 3, John Ward from Georgia. And New England's Matthew Lee, most recent winner in the Toyota 04. Row 4, big money winner last week, Aubrey Thompson from the Carolinas in Lexington. And Georgia Bulldog Joshua McCullough in that 05. Kenneth McCullough right there alongside as well in his Chevrolet 9th. Justin Mills, the Carolina driver, Chevrolet Deuce in 10th. Rest of the lineup includes Danny Barnes, winner of race number 1 from the Plains. David Sheets from the Carolinas in the 06. And Jonathan Herbert will fire in the number 13 spot. So there's your starting lineup. FEG PC Leagues and Events Saturday Night Money. Chantel Pottle, by the way, is producer director. I'm Wesley Outland. Yes, I am solo. Don't have anybody working with me in the booth. But after being busy all day since 6 a.m. calling football, getting back here, calling iRacing in the booth, and now ready to have a 20, 30-minute break and scarf down some spaghetti and Italian cheese bread, ice-cold Coca-Cola for the eNASCAR Coca-Cola Series. I am refreshed and ready to bring it to you. Hope you are ready to pedal to the metal, the money on the line. 40 laps, we're green in Daytona. Let's see how all this shake, rattle, and roll goes as right now. Daniel not wasting any time going from the top shelf down to the bottom. Working down to the inside now, powering up alongside that machine of Baker and company. They work their way down the back stretch here on the opening lap. It's Ron Morris Jr. Of course, Matthew Baker right there in tow, the 5-star, beautiful looking machine, man. Love that. I love, just like the truck. Here comes now also some more action. Richard Elliott working down to the inside. Here comes down the McCullough family. Somehow powering on the outside, making it work. You're 1 lap in, 39 to go here at Daytona. Heath Joe cheering on Hyper Motorsports. Robert Miller cheering on McCullough. And Baker's mom got it going on. I know who you're cheering on. Matthew Baker right now in the top 5. He's back to 5th. And Joshua McCullough weasels his way from the outside to the inside, and he is going to go to the lead. Everybody follows in tow, in line. Here comes up the high side. McCullough shot the gap, went to the bottom, opened up the door to David Sheets. And somehow Jonathan Herbert has weaseled down to the inside to climb in from 7th to now 3rd. What a climb for him. Sheets to the lead. Ron Morris Jr. now 2nd. Jonathan Herbert is 3rd. Joshua 4th, and Matthew Baker, your top 5. Everybody's holding their line right now. Just kind of stay in line. Don't jump out of the order as they work the back straightaway. 40 laps the distance. By the way, if you didn't know, that's 100 miles around Daytona. Down into the corner into turn number 3. Here you come down to the bottom. David Sheets inside. Staying to the inside, making that move. Down into the turn. Back to 1, up the banking. John Ward now, the 92. Somebody was cheering on Hyper Motorsports. Hyper's up in front. David Sheets will follow in tow in that number 2 spot. Ron Morris Jr. to 3rd. Herbert Thompson to top 5. Early going now. Working a handful of laps next time around. It's still a long way to go here in Daytona. Single file. Here comes the conga line. Here comes Herbert. He'll jump out of line. He thought about it. Weaseled to the outside, back to the inside. Here comes the door to McCullough. McCullough on the outside around Herbert. Tries to get the clear for 4th and 5th. He'll stay locked on that spot, and he might lose the draft as he's got to duck down in line. Right there, up under the tailgate of Herbert. And McCullough in the open lane there, also by Matthew Baker. Excuse me, coming through. Aubrey Thompson watched this on the right in his driver rear view mirror as well. Down that back straightaway. Into that 3rd turn. 5 down, 35 to go. This race underway. Jeffrey Ford putting it on. I wish we would have had a lot more drivers. Man, where is everybody at on a Saturday night? Big thanks to Jeffrey Ford for putting this on. FEG PC Customs, FEG PC Leaks and Events. But man, I wish we would have had a bigger turnout. But sometimes it's not about quantity, it's quality. And you got some of the best in iRacing going at right now. That's the best defense that I can use on saying why there's not a good number of trucks here. Saturday night, big money. And this is the big one. As we just mentioned here. What a big show going on. Going down into turn number 4, coming back to the line. Here you go, put another lap on the board, guys. Still a long way to go. making a turn number 2 down that back straightaway. John Ward in that top spot. David Sheets in second. Working the third. It's Morris inside. Joshua McCullough will follow down to the bottom inside, following single file. Here comes that conga line working off the 4th turn. Working down to the inside, to the outside. McCullough back to the bottom. John Ward still in the lead. Working now 10 of 40 next time around. So far, everybody doing a great job. Heath Job, late dinner on the West Coast. I just missed the entry deadline. Sorry, Heath. Maybe next week, buddy. Don't forget, they got races all week long, but of course the big one is the Wild Super Speedway Wild Wednesday, of course, on LSR TV. We're live on PTM Racing TV right now. Thanks to Chantel Pottle. Chantel Pottle, our producer director, giving you these awesome views. Look at this. Look at this from the leader, John Ward. And there's that gaggle of traffic hugging the double yellow line through the Geico restart zone back across the start line. From this view, it ain't nothing better to do but crank it up from the virtual World Center of Racing, as we still got a long way to go in Daytona for some big money. Well, here we go, and it's already now a working lap number 12 of 40. You heard the roar, the thunder of those drivers and the crank it up. Thank you very much. Now John Ward is the man that leads the not for how long. David Sheets looking down to the inside. He thought about making a run. Ron Morris Jr. will also tiptoe and watch to the inside, to the outside. No one jumping out of line just yet. So is also that move by Aubrey Thompson. This is the FEG PC Leagues and Events. Saturday Night Money from the virtual Daytona International Speedway. I'm Wesley Outland. Chantel Pottle is working on production. And the PTM Racing TV broadcast rolls on. 13 of 40. John Ward continues to bring that conga line down into turn number 1 and 2, up that 31 degrees of banking. Here as they work off that second turn. He is the conductor. The man that's leading the way is John Ward. The caboose in the back is, of course, Jonathan Herbert. who at one time was thought about being up in the front. He falls back in line. They're single file. Some of them trying to jump off the tracks just a little bit as Aubrey Thompson, Ron Morris Jr. trying to break out of line out of the draft single file to try to find a line. And here comes drivers coming down the pit lane. Pit stops, here they come. 13 of 40, split them in half. And they're on pit road. John Ward, David Sheets, Ron Morris Jr., Aubrey Thompson, Richard Elliott, Justin Mills, Danny Barnes, and Jonathan Herbert came down pit road. 8 of the 13 pitted, 5 stayed out. It's going to be probably just fuel only, not really thinking about tires right now. 14 of 40, and they'll probably make another green flag pit stop. Joshua McCullough, now the new leader. Not for long, though. As here comes now Matthew Lee, and they're going to peel on the pit road. Here you go. McCullough, Baker, Lee, Everhart, McCullough. Sounds like a law firm. And they're all coming down the pit lane. So you're going to have them broken down into 2 packs. The key is to hit those pit stops perfectly. Enter at the same time, exit at the same time. Oh, and be flawless. No speeding, no penalties on entry or exit. Hit your marks and be ready to roll. As John Ward's probably going to cycle back around as the leader. Just around this time by, there's Ron Morris Jr., David Sheets, John Ward. Looks like they're off the pit lane on the pit exit. Remember, there they are. You got to stay to the double yellow line to the bottom until you cross that blend cone. And then once you pass the blend line cone, then you're able to pull back onto the racetrack. And as I say that, there goes the pack flying by. Matthew Baker and company, as now it is the 06 of David Sheets, the new leader. John Ward, Aubrey Thompson, Ron Morris Jr., the new top 4 as they come to the line, and we're 25 to go. So 25 laps to go. $740 per. Now I will tell you this, and me and Chantel were talking about this. This race, that event was based off of 35 drivers. Only 13 showed up, so I got a feeling the race first is probably going to be cut to be the benefit of what it is for the amount of drivers that are signed in. There's probably a spreadsheet scale based on low numbers off of the max numbers that should have been here. I'm surprised we didn't have 35 drivers myself. But with that said, it is what it is. We got what we got, and they're right now all single file. This actually worked out quite perfectly, where everybody was able to pit twice, 1 lap, and then the next lap the other 5 pitted. And now they're all right there in a pack with one another, and they're all actually still on the lead lap, except for Jonathan Herbert and Danny Barnes, who are back 27 seconds to this pack. They're praying for a caution flag. Don't know if they'll get one or not, but right now, there you see them all by myself. Well, don't feel bad. They're at least 2 peas in a pod right there with one another. Jonathan Herbert and Danny Barnes. Danny Barnes was the winner of race number 1, and whatever happened, they have lost ground of the pack, that fast pack, that snarling, growling pack now coming off of turn number 4, going back into turn number 1. And there you see John Ward back up the banking, 31 degrees. John Ward, the 92. Aubrey Thompson, here comes the man who won the Ugliest Winner 250 here in Daytona last Saturday night for Nerditudes. He won the American 500 from McCullough Motorsports. That was on LSR TV. I was proud to be on the play-by-play call of that one. What a battle he had there at the end with, of course, Hype, as well as Matthew Baker. Inkin, blinking, popped in at the last minute. He crossed the line. Even though he was blinking almost on that last corner, he popped back in, entering turn 4. They gave the win to Aubrey Thompson. He was ecstatic, and he already said, man, I got a brand new computer coming. Obviously, we heard from Aubrey Thompson in race number 2 earlier tonight, part of our doubleheader on PTM Racing TV, and he hinted on the idea that he's got a new computer coming, and not really sure what he's going to do with the old one, but definitely going to work on those blinking issues for the future. Justin Mills is now the new leader. Justin Mills, Richard Elliott, John Ward, they're 1, 2, and 3. Joshua McCullough in that 9th spot right now. Remember, they put it between lap number 13 and 14. So I'm thinking around lap 26 to 30, they're going to have to make one more pit again. One more pit stop again. You're on board now with the leader, Justin Mills. Clean air. There's a look at that banking from the gyro cam, just to show you how banked 31 degrees is at Daytona. Working off that second turn down the straightaway. Banking even in the tri-oval as well. And there's the shot of the trucks working down the super stretch. Hyper Motorsports, Heath Job. You're cheering them on, I know you are. And right now, Justin Mills is the man for Hyper, leading the way. Richard Elliott, John Ward, they're 1, 2, and 3. Hyper Motorsports 1 and 3 right now on the racetrack. Aubrey Thompson also right there, hanging patiently, along with David Sheets, the top 5. As I mentioned, the conductor leading the way, the number 2, Justin Mills. Got in the wall at about the midway point of the race. At the latter stages of the race in race 2. By the way, PTM Racing TV, hit that like, subscribe button, follow them on Facebook as well at PTM Racing TV. And in addition to that, all races are available for replay. Justin Mills works off turn number 4. Let's ride on board with McCullough. Let's pick up the 9. The number 9 spot, Joshua McCullough. Let's go on board with him. He's got, actually it's Kenneth McCullough, my apologies. The 0-3, what's it like from the view? You saw the view from the leader, Justin Mills, clean air. This is what it's like at the back of the line. Watching the caboose as the conductor leads them into turn 2. And the rest of the train of cars, the boxes just stay in line, inside and outside. Boxcar, McCullough. Watching all this going on now. That's the man to the number 11 spot. There is all 11 trucks right there within the whisker of one another, separated by literally a second and a half. Working off turn 4. Here comes the land rush down to the line. Just after halfway. 20 down and 20 to go. Justin Mills leads. Richard Elliott second. John Ward is third. Aubrey Thompson and David Sheets the top 5. Then it's Ron Morris Jr., Matthew Baker, Matthew Lee, Joshua McCullough and Daniel Everhart the third, the top 10. Kenneth McCullough, Jonathan Herbert, Danny Barnes. There's your full field rundown. 18 laps to go now. They work into turn number 3. Justin Mills. Committed to the first 3 races, the first 2 races, now here at the big one. Methodically, being smart, strategically putting himself in that catbird seat to try to find a way to get this win. Can he do it? Right now, he's leading the way. Not for long though, up. Mills just jumped the hill. Here comes a change. It's now Richard Elliott. He'll go to the lead. John Ward to second, Mills to third. And with all this going on now, they work through 3 and 4. Here comes a big burst of momentum by Daniel Everhart III. He is now up to the top spot. Where did he come from? A lap ago, he was in 10th. What a climb. Daniel Eberhardt III, the new leader, and Matthew Baker is also into second. Matthew Lee to third. They were waiting patiently, took advantage, made it work, and just got it done. At one time, Hyper Motorsports was in the top 4. Now, new drivers up in the front of the cavalry, including Daniel Eberhardt III, Matthew Baker, the 5 machine, the 5-star, Matthew Lee. Of course, Matthew Lee got the win, not one but 2 weeks in a row in the Wednesday, Wild Wednesday Super Speedway Series on LSR TV. This past Wednesday night, Matthew Baker gave the push to Matthew Lee just at the last moment to get the win at Talladega. Back straight away. Sorry, it was actually Daytona is where we were. Actually, here we go, inside and outside. Eberhardt III down to the inside. Here comes now Baker. Baker and Lee, along with Eberhardt, they're starting to pull away. 15, now make it 14 laps to go when they flash under the flag stand. Who you rooting on? Who you cheering on? Down to the home stretch we go here in Daytona. FEG PC Saturday Night Money. And right now it is Daniel Eberhardt III taking on all comers. The bank is open. It's time to roll in and cash in here in virtual Daytona. Matthew Baker trying to get those chess pieces in play for checkmate on the 90. He's got Matthew Lee to follow. He's gonna weasel and follow the Joker. Working into 3. Also, Richard Elliott, who was on the pole in race number 2, is now right there in the top 5. And we're going to start seeing pit stops as Justin Mills pulls off a pit lane by himself. He is a sitting duck, by God. Here comes Jonathan Herbert, though. He'll commit to pit. 2 is better than 1, but definitely not a pack. Danny Barnes is coming on the pit lane as well. We pick up the leaders on the super stretch. It is Daniel Eberhardt III. I'm thinking any moment now when they cycle back around, they're going to be pitting. We mentioned between 13 and 15, between 28 to 30 laps. They'll be pilling in. Will they do it? Yeah, here they come. Money stop time. Behind the leader, Eberhardt, Baker, and Lee. And this is now going to bring in 8 trucks, 9 trucks. Here comes Elliott. Ward's in. Thompson's in. Sheets is in. Ron Morris Jr., Kenneth McCullough. Danny Barnes still on pit road. The money stop underway with 12 to go at Daytona. And now you've got Eberhardt, Baker, Lee, and McCullough on the track. Going for the undercut was Justin Mills and Danny Barnes. Danny Barnes a lap down. Justin Mills still on the lead lap. Will the leaders pit? This time by 12 to go. They're showing the hands in. They're coming down the pit lane, the final 4. Eberhardt, Baker, Lee, McCullough in. While that goes on, Ron Morris Jr., when he cycles back around into turn 4, catches the leaders that are on pit road. He will be the new leader. Ron Morris Jr. got in a tangle in the first race, somehow put himself in contention right now to lead here on a pit strategy. But behind Ron Morris is Richard Elliott and David Sheets. 11 laps to go, flag to flag, so far caution free on this Saturday night money event for the FEG PC Custom Leagues and Events. Follow them on Facebook. Hit FEG, FEG, CustomsPC.com. That's Ford Entertainment Group Customs PC. And thank you to Chantel Bottle, our producer director. I'm Wesley Outland. Strap in. Gonna be a good one here in Daytona with 10 laps to go. And Matthew Lee in the lead. There you see him getting around Daniel Eberhardt. Baker to third. McCullough to fourth. The strategy did not work for the undercut by some. And Matthew Lee is in the point. Matthew Lee, winner of race number 2. Now working his way into that third turn. He is the leader. Matthew Lee hitting his marks off of turn number 4. The final 4, pulling away from everybody else. The interval about less than 2-3 seconds from McCullough. That's Kenneth to son Joshua. Matt, Daniel, Matthew, Joshua, top 4. There they are, throwing a blanket over them. We're single digits and 9 to go here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. Suck it up, Buttercup. It's go time and time to make it to the end. Double yellow line is where the trucks stay to. Putting those left fronts and left rears to the double yellow line. Following single file up into turn number 3 now. So far, clean and green. Entertaining race. Working through the tri-oval. Here they come to the line, 8 to go. McCullough thought for a second to try to make a move, I think, on Baker. Baker said not gonna happen. Baker protects that line, stays to the inside, back to the outside. We're single file, Matthew Lee. Matthew Lee, Daniel Eberhardt, they're 1, 2, and 3. Baker, McCullough, top 4, single file, double yellow line into 3. Then you got Kenneth McCullough, the Georgian machine, followed by Ron Morris Jr. Richard Elliott, they're all there. 8 laps to go. Now 7 remaining. Looking inside, looking outside. Chance now for McCullough and Morris, and now Elliott to reel back in the leaders, and they've done it to make it now from 4 trucks to now 7. And meanwhile, set him up Joe. Matthew Lee in the lead. Down that back straightaway, Matthew Lee, something happened. He fell back. It's a miss. Look at now, new leader Eberhardt along with McCullough. Matthew, Baker, and McCullough up on the outside. McCullough Motorsports, but Ron Morris to help. Matthew Lee on the bottom. All this going on now as they work into the corner. Just Matthew Lee just got ganged up on by the entire pack by Daniel Eberhardt. Now Eberhardt falls back on the draft. Everyone's on the outside. He's hung on the bottom to the inside. 6 to go. Here comes the McCullough family. Couple of Georgia natives with the Bulldogs colors on one, the American flag on the other. Joshua McCullough, Kenneth McCullough lead them to the back straight away. Ron Morris Jr. there. Race director extraordinaire, also a great sim racer in the top 3. And while that goes on, Daniel Eberhardt, the third, 3 wide, give him room as he's riding up to the safer barrier. To the line, 5 laps to go. Matthew Baker gives a punt in the pants to the 90. A push, a big push, a big drive up the banking on the McCullough family and Morris as they climb the banking into 1 and 2. Eberhardt gives way, so does Baker. Here comes now also Elliott on the outside. Matthew Lee will follow. Outside lane, engaged. Here they come. Inside, battles back, the McCullough family. Into 3, side by side, stride for stride. Up the banking, they two-step. Into turn number 3 and exiting 4. It's McCullough, Eberhardt, Morris, Baker, top 5. 4 to go in Daytona, 5 miles remaining, or actually 10 miles to go. Coming to the finish of this one here. 100 miles, and they're already down to 90 miles in the books. Ready for the final 4 laps of this one. 7 trucks in the pack. Anyone could win it from Eberhardt down to Lee. Matthew Lee now to the outside, hooks up behind the back of the machine of Richard Elliott. The McCullough family along with Morris stay locked to the inside. 4 trucks on the top, 3 on the bottom. McCullough now changes gears. He pulls up on the outside, throws the block on Eberhardt. Eberhardt going 3 wide. He's got help behind him. Here comes Baker with a push. McCullough with a push by Morris. Side by side as they work through the triangle and 3 to go at Daytona. Inside lane, here comes Elliott on the bottom. And now coming back in the fight is also going to be now the 7 of Danny Barnes. All this going on into the corner. Danny Barnes is a lap down, though. Remember that. Danny Barnes a lap down. David Sheets now up into the mix again. And while this goes on, McCullough on the outside. Eberhardt now tries to stick it 3 wide. He's got Baker following him like they're fighting over the last piece of chicken on the dinner table. Down to the inside. Here comes now Eberhardt, protecting the middle lane now. Monkey in the middle is Morris and the McCullough family along with Sheets. Meanwhile, McCullough hung on the bottom on the inside. Here comes the outside lane to follow it, Morris. In the bottom is Baker. In the top, I mean. Here comes Baker, the penultimate lap of the race. 5 miles to go and there's contact. Oh, hold on, Ron Morris, and they held it together. How in the hell did they do it? They did it. They all go into turn number 1. 2 to go. Baker kept it in line. So did McCullough and Eberhardt. They gave each other plenty of room. That could have been crash. They hold it together. Morris again on a shove to Matthew Lee. Matthew Lee up to the lead. The Clinton Main driver, when it counts the most. Winner of race 2, trying to double down here in the big money races tonight in Daytona for the FEG PC Series. 2 by 2 by 2. Here they come. The most important lap of all. The white flag lap as they work off turn number 4. Here they come. Storming to the line. White flag is going to wave. 1 more lap to go. Flag to flag, and it's wreckers or checkers in Daytona. Final time. Turn 1, Lee gives room to the bottom to Morris. McCullough will follow. Matthew Baker hugging with Matthew Lee with a push. We seen this happen Wednesday night when Baker gave the win to Lee. To the outside, here they come to the back straightaway. Who's going to become friends and foes? Down that back straightaway, Baker, there's contact. Morris is like a ping pong ball inside of a tilt. He goes from the front to the back, from the penthouse to the outhouse, down into turn number 3. Here comes now Matthew Lee in the middle, the McCullough family. Here comes Baker, here comes McCullough. They're spinning, Matthew Lee spinning, so is Morris. To the line, checkered flag, Matthew Baker wins it. Matthew Baker wins in Daytona. What a finish. This is what you save your lunch money for in real life in Daytona in Labor Day or February for the 500. And of course, iRacing makes history moments virtually over and over and over again. Matthew Baker winning over David Sheets and Richard Elliott. Coastal Thunder 5-star Chevrolet. Mama Baker, I know you got to be going bonkers for your son, the Floridian. Matthew Baker winning here in Daytona. What a finish. Let's take a look at that last lap one more time. We had no cautions. What a race. And honestly, Chantel, it's probably best to pick it up in turn number 1 on the white flag lap. Take them all the way to the finish. My goodness. Let's take you to the finish of this one again. The white flag was in the air. Here they come, storming off of turn number 1 and 2. And now you see Morris. Morris has got to choose. Do you go to the inside or the outside? He tried to hug Baker and Matthew Lee up against the wall. And when he done that, Baker gave a push to Matthew Lee. And then Matt Lee went to the bottom. He went to the middle. The McCullough and Morris family are bunched up. Just a little slip there by McCullough, bonsaied off of Elliott. Then they all go spinning to the bottom. Everhart, Matthew Lee, and more. And then look at this. By the time Sheets got there in line to make a move to try to run down Matthew Baker, it was already over. Richard Elliott stayed out of trouble to finish in third. What a show they put on here again. Just one more time again, 3 wide. Matthew Lee tried to make something work in the middle. He got tagged in the back by McCullough. Then you saw the end result of these other guys spinning. Eberhard and more. By the time they got to the flag, Matthew Baker picking up the win. Let's take a look at the results. Matthew Baker is your winner. David Sheets is second. Richard Elliott will finish third. Daniel Eberhard is fourth. Matthew Lee will even finish in the top 5, though he spun. Kenneth McCullough will finish in 6th. John Ward, 7th. Justin Mills is 8th. Aubrey Thompson, 9th. Ron Morris Jr., the top 10. Then it's going to be Joshua McCullough, followed by the driver of Danny Barnes and Jonathan Herbert. By the way, big money race, Saturday night money at Daytona. Flag to flag, caution free. Because wreckers are checkers. Yeah, they wrecked coming off that 4th turn, but I mean, the race was already over. Caution-free race till they spun, coming out of 4 and running to the finish. Matthew Baker picking up the win. All right, let's grab the drivers if they are available. At least Baker, Sheets, and Elliott. Love to get their thoughts here of post-race. And let's grab the winner. Matthew Baker, congratulations, man. Florida looks good on you. Real life or virtual, a push and assist. Things just fell your way perfectly, man. Congrats on the victory, bud.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a lot of fun battling there. Good green flag racing and 3 wide action towards the end, so glad we could pull out the win. Unfortunate that it ended in a wreck in turn 4, but, you know, that's just usually how it goes.
You were behind Matthew Lee most of the way. Was the intention to try to give the assist to and push him on, or was it, you know, you saw him struggle, you had to go for it?
Well, once we hung Ron there in the middle, I knew that I was going to be basically double blinking going on the top side, so I had him drop to the middle when he got clear. Once he got clear, I knew Eberhard had the freshest temps out of anyone out there, so he's going to be able to give you a good push around to get me the victory. But would have been a cool little 3-wide drag race to the line.
Where is the drivers at tonight, Matthew? Big money on the line. Where are they?
I just think it's a combination of we've had a couple weeks where we've had a lot of lack of respect in the community. So I think that people are taking a little bit of a break. You know, it's holidays too. People are traveling and doing Christmas parties and work Christmas parties. So I understand that. But I just got out here after having a long day at work just to unload on the sim rig and have some fun.
Well, man, congratulations. Besides thanking Mom, which you better do, thank your sponsors. The 5-star.
Just thanks to Coasting Thunder, MBG Motorsports, Baker & Son Construction. Thanks to Martin Sports, Daniel Ayer for giving me a push at the end. Lee for always working well with me, everyone out here racing, Jeff for putting on the race, you for putting on the broadcast, and the family watching back at home. Hi, Mom.
There you go, Matthew Baker, again picking up the win here in the big Saturday Night Money event here for the number 5-star. David Sheets will grab him. He finished in the number 2 spot. David Sheets, where are you? I don't think he's available. So let's grab the 3rd place, man. He was on the pole in race number 2, got himself into an accident there, but he strategized and made it work here in the big money race, finishing in 2nd. Nothing wrong with a podium there. Of course, David Sheets 2nd. Richard Elliott, you're 3rd, buddy, on the podium. You're taking this race here at Daytona, man.
Just more of the same. Speedway racing at its finest, you know.
Are you a fan of that, or just like, oh, here we go again?
I love it, but boy, you get in a stretch where you just get caught up in stuff over and over, and you start questioning yourself. But then you pop in and make a little money, and you're back. It's like going to Vegas, I guess.
Yeah, it's like an addiction, right? I mean, it's like cashing in your chips and You know, they always bring you back. They reel you back in, as they always say when you go to what happens in stays in Vegas, stays in Vegas. Whatever happens in sim racing stays in sim racing, except the money that you make. I mean, obviously a podium finish, but man, a pretty quiet race though. I mean, the strategy, you had a feeling it was going to boil over there coming off that last corner though, didn't it?
Yeah, I knew I was going to push it to the outside, and we finally got there. I guess going down the backstretch, and things happened, and I went back and watched it. Really bad neck code between me and Kenneth. It just turned him completely to the left,
Right.
and caused that wreck. So, but I mean, it's happened to all of us. We've all been neck coded and or just had bad luck. So, anyway.
Oh man. Yeah. Before I let you go, thank your sponsors.
Yes, John Ward with Typer Motorsports again for bringing some of his team together with us. You guys putting it on. I enjoy the hell out of listening to you guys, and Jeff for putting on this whole program for us.
Well, usually we have like 2 or 3 people. I'm by myself tonight on PTM Racing TV, LSR TV. We go out with all the red carpet, 2 or 3 others, but. Man, it's surely fun and definitely entertaining. You guys put on a good show for tonight.
I appreciate it.
There you go. 3rd place for Richard Elliott. When it's all said and done, by the big kudos as always to Chantel Pottle for PTM Racing TV, doing a phenomenal job in the, of course, box, making sure that everything went good, went well. For the last 3 broadcasts in a row, especially the big one that finished when it was all said and done. Follow them at PTM Racing TV on Facebook, Instagram, of course. They're on also YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. While you're doing that, hit FEG PC, FEGPCCustom.com, the website, FEGCustomPC.com, FEGPC Leagues and events is what I was thinking about. I got tongue-tied. Man, it's been a long day here. Been talking for football, now into racing. But check them out again at FEGCustomPC.com. And, of course, FEG PC Leagues and events on Facebook. Hit that Discord. They always got big money races. Speaking of big money races, before we go off the air tonight, want to remind you, of course, about the Wednesday night Super Speedway Money Series. Always fun at Daytona, Talladega. It's on LSR TV. Also Thursday money, Friday money, Saturday money, dirt track racing money, and more. And of course, don't forget about that big Christmas Eve race, December 24th. Ring in Christmas with us on LSR TV, as that event is paying $2,100 purse, $450 guaranteed to the podium finishers of 1, 2, and 3, guaranteed $150 to start. Get signed up today in the Discord for FEG PC Money Events and Leagues, also on Facebook. Well, that's going to do it from Daytona. I am not going to lie to you. I'm about to go into hiding. I'm about to climb up under the covers and disappear. And just take a day off tomorrow. I need the day the Lord made. Sabbath day is going to be for me tomorrow. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thanks to everybody for joining us. I'm Wesley Outlet. Thanks to Chantel Pottle, working on production and directing behind the scenes to make me look good, sound good. PTM Racing TV, FEG PC. You never know when the next big money race is going to be. Stay tuned. Good night from Daytona.